So, Elizabeth, you want to welcome everybody, introduce everybody a little bit, or everybody can tell who they are and how they know you, and then maybe you can share a little bit about what is it that attracted you to Juice Plus and why you want to share it with other people.
Yeah, well, those of you who have logged on know who I am, but if you guys want to introduce yourselves, you can, and say how you know me. That would be fun, but you'll have to unmute for that. You don't have to show your picture, but you have to unmute.
Everybody's shy. That's okay.
Say it.
Hi, Elizabeth. It's Warren.
Hi, Warren.
Hi. How are you?
Doing good. Missing you guys, but doing good.
Well, I was gonna say.
No, this isn't just talk. Okay, so that was my husband Warren, but I am actually the one that's on. My name is Kelly. I'm just on my husband's phone. I know Elizabeth through our husbands worked together when we were in Ohio. We are no longer there, so she is just trying to keep me in touch and wanting me to learn as much as I can about all of this, just like she is.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm Mary. I met Elizabeth through church.
Oh, we have a new person.
We're both also on a mission to improve our health, like hopefully all of us, but yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I've known Liz since about the 7th grade. We've been friends for a very long time.
Yes, we have. Thanks, guys.
That's so cool.
For logging on. I am really excited to share with you kind of what brought me to Juice Plus. I will give the very shortened story. Well, for a couple years now, I've been working to improve my health and my family's, especially since having kids, like that kind of makes you want to get it together real quick. I've struggled with multiple autoimmune diseases and some other things, but the more I researched and the more I dug, I found that everything came back to nutrition. But not just nutrition, but how you absorb things, because we don't really necessarily absorb what we eat. You know, people say you are what you eat. Well, actually, you are what you absorb. And I almost became a little obsessive with the research and the reading and the studying because I just was feeling so bad. I was the only one that was going to help myself. You know, there was no quick fix. There is no nothing like that. So the more I read, like I said, it came back to nutrition. So I worked really hard at, I felt like I kind of always ate healthy, but I really focused on it and I tried to eat the rainbow. I even got into juicing. And I didn't really see the results I hoped for. And this is really disappointing because that can really, it's important, but especially the juicing is just really, a job. It took a lot of work. I would go to the grocery every week and I spent at least an extra $20 a week just on the veggies and stuff that I would juice. And I tried to do a variety, but I really couldn't because you actually have to have you have to have one type of juicer for like the veggies and stuff. And then you have to get a masticating juicer, a different type for the fruits and everything. And of course I just had one. And that alone was just too time consuming to keep up with. So even when I was putting in all that effort, I was only getting a variety of like maybe six different vegetables. And then if you also have like some issues with your gut health and stuff, there's certain things you can't really juice too much because that sugar content would just get so high. That could cause issues too, depending on what else was going on. But I really knew from everything that I have read and researched from specialists and everything that I really needed to get all the macro and micronutrients that I could to heal my autoimmune diseases, because there really is, to get to the root cause of what's going on, it just really came down to that. But I found that even with all my efforts, and probably because of how depleted our soils are in nutrients, and therefore our food is missing those nutrients as well, I wasn't getting what I needed, despite how hard I was working. So, and especially like as a mother or being even a childbearing age, I just was really aware of the fact that I have to be healthy and have the nutrients I need if I am going to have healthy children. And if, I mean, they're going to get it from me as I carry them. So, I was very aware of that. So when I heard about Juice Plus from a friend, and she just kind of casually mentioned it and shared a story that made my jaw drop, I quickly started researching that. You know, it was the next thing. I got to find out about this. It sounds amazing. Well, and then, you know, as I learned, you know, it makes it so easy to get 30 fruits and vegetables and berries every day, you know, and all that macronutrients, micronutrients, everything. It's so bioavailable to your body. It was like amazing. I was kind of floored because it was just exactly what I was missing and looking and working so hard to fill, and an easy way to get it. And like I said, available to my body. Because I think that is, if say our food was perfect, which it's not anymore, done a lot of damage to that. You really got to be able to absorb that too. Otherwise, like I said, you don't really benefit from it. But so I was really excited about that because I can just like fill that gap that I need, and my kids too. So that really excited me.
You did a great job. Thank you. You pretty much did my job, but maybe you could share with I mean, you're amazing. So thank you for sharing all of that. Maybe you could tell them a little bit about who Sandy is and who I am, and then we'll move forward into the rest of the conversation. Because We're kind of like, who are these people? Unless you want to tell that about ourselves.
I'll kind of let you tell a little bit about yourself. That might be fun.
Okay.
I can start with Sandy. I met Sandy through a mutual friend, and it took us about 5 minutes of talking to realize we had a lot in common, like a lot. So it's kind of nice when you meet someone else that's had some struggles, whether themselves or within their family, and worked hard to overcome that and heal. And then to learn from each other was really cool. So
I would like to introduce the next person on the call. I am honored to have Carolyn Russ on this call. She has been with the Juice Plus Company 13 years. And not only is she experiencing health benefits of whole food nutrition, but she's helped many, many people along the way. She has a great story of how Juice Plus has allowed her to create and live her new normal of health with less financial stress. After years of sharing our mission of inspiring healthy living, Carolyn and her husband, Rick, enjoy financial freedom. They love paying it forward. She's our go-to person as an expert on the products and in helping others succeed in getting the word out too. She's a very mission-minded lady. Carolyn's reached the highest leadership position in the Juice Plus Company, which allows her a full benefits package and a way to retire her husband from corporate America. Woo. She believes our health is our wealth, and she loves helping people take control of their lives. She is my friend and my mentor, and I love what I'm learning through her. I love the positive culture of health and hope and education that I'm receiving through Carolyn and through the Juice Plus Company. So this is Carolyn Russ.
Hi, everybody. Well, thank you. That was lovely. And you will soon find that there's just no more fun place to be than with our Juice Plus buddies. And so, and I want to thank all of you for taking time to be with us tonight. I hope that what you learn will be helpful, maybe even a little inspiring. Like they said, I have been involved with the Juice Plus Company for 13 years. I got here the hard way. All of us have struggles, and all of us want the best for our families, and all of us want to live long. And so 13 years ago this month, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and that's how I learned about Juice Plus. I thought I ate healthy. Everybody said, oh my gosh, how could this be you? You're like the biggest health nut in the world. And there's lots of reasons, but I mean, I thought I ate healthy because I didn't eat bologna on white bread. My kids gave me such a hard time. Nobody would trade sandwiches with them at school. And they're your all's age, and they're still telling me about that, except that they don't send bologna on white bread with their kids either. But nobody told me about the power of fruits and vegetables, or that I needed to flood my body with them. And even today, after 13 years and all this incredible research, it's sometimes hard to wrap my brain around what this does in people's bodies and people's lives. And so just to start off with a little bit is we're on a mission. And we want to share with you our product, but we want to share with you why we do what we do, because it's such a blessing to be able to help people change their lives. And so this isn't about just pills in a capsule, even though that is the foundation. That is the product that makes all of this worthwhile. And Elizabeth has told you so much just by sharing her heart. And this is so much easier than juicing. And it is 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. And for those of you who have children that are ages 4 through 18 or in college, I don't think any of you have college kids yet, but you can sponsor your children to get Juice Plus for free. So your whole family can get healthy. And so one of the things that I've liked is that we get incredible, incredible education. I mean, we could hook you up for all kinds of stuff that you have an interest in. And Elizabeth's already covered, I mean, she's already delved into it and read a lot, but we have a number of tools. So if you have questions and we can't answer them, we go find somebody that can. But I needed a place where I could learn how to get healthy because I didn't understand why I wasn't. And once I went through treatment, I needed a community to learn. How do you eat more fruits and vegetables? Somebody give me some recipes. Why do I need to eat all these fruits and vegetables? And how can I actually do that? And so it was pretty cool. My oncologist at Ohio State said, well, this is super. This will fill in the nutritional gap for you. And I said, oh, Sandy, do you have any bottles with you? Okay, thanks. I was going to do that between calls and we just jumped on here so quickly that I didn't do that. But so Juice Plus that's Juice Plus. It's 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule or a chewable. And if you look on there, it's a nutrition fact label, not a supplement label. So it's food. It's not even taxed in the state of Ohio because we don't tax food, right? And so when my oncologist looked at this, she said, oh, fill in the nutritional gap for you. And I was, oh, you've been to one of their things? And she said, no, I can read the label. It's a nutrition fact label. So you'll see 3 colors, fruits, veggies, berries. And then there's one other product that we have, the orange one, and that is the omega blend. So some of you are familiar with omega in the form of fish oil. This is wonderful because it doesn't smell bad. It's not, they bypass the fish. So it's algal oil is the primary oil, and buckthorn seed oil, tomato seed oil. I forget what some of the other ones are, but there's 5 different oils, and it's 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 in a perfect blend. And that's the really cool thing about everything we do. It's all in synergy with one another. So if you're eating 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries in Juice Plus, you're not getting just 30. You're getting an exponential amount because of the kinetic energy and how they fit together. It's kind of like you can't win a baseball game if you don't have the whole team on the field, right? So I'm going to switch this up a little bit, Sandy, and I'd like for you to share your story, the one you shared a minute ago, just about Joey and why you're sharing Juice Plus with people and what happened.
Well, Joey was on the ketogenic diet for seizure control. And I remember at one time, if you don't know about the ketogenic diet, it is an extremely high fat, barely adequate protein, and almost no carbohydrate. I remember at one point he was getting 3.75 grams of carb per meal. 3.75. That's almost nothing. It was like half a strawberry. And he could get almost no real nutrition. So he had barely adequate protein to grow and a ton of fat. And your body can run on fat, but it leaves this acid ash residue in your bloodstream called ketones. It's a different kind of acid, but anyway, ketones. And it's something about that helps control seizures. So it helped, but it didn't stop the seizures. And he was on that diet. He was on multiple meds, and he was still having seizures. And he was having electrical shocks to his brain once per second, day and night. And this diet, I was calculating every single meal had to be calculated with a computer program and weighed accurate to the 10th of a gram on a scale. And I did this for 8 years. So this was a lot of work. And although it helps the brain, it's extremely hard on the rest of your body because it's almost completely devoid of fruits and vegetables. It's just, there's impossible. You just can't get them. And he was taking vitamins, but they were not doing any good because they're not food. They're not going to work in your body like food does. So to make a long story short, we found out about Juice Plus because of a presentation that Carolyn did. She was at the Nicholas School, which is a school for neurological development. And so she had this presentation, and we could fit this into Joey's crazy diet because it's so low in carbohydrate. They remove the sugars in the process of drying. So it's just amazing. And I saw a difference in him within like 3 weeks. And I'm a really skeptical person. So I was like, nah, can't be. There's no way that this is all that. But after 4 weeks and 5 weeks and 6 weeks, I was just seeing the light bulb come on. And Joey could understand things that he couldn't understand before that. He was becoming our son again. We were getting our kid back. And it was like too good to be true, but it was true. And after about a couple of months, we weaned him off of a medication that he had been on for over 5 years, and he had no breakthrough seizures weaning off. And that doesn't happen either with seizure meds. If you wean off and you've been on that long, you normally have breakthrough seizures. He had none. And I found out about 6 months later that inflammation is a huge factor in epilepsy. The seizure, the electrical activity, shocks to the brain, creates inflammation. But that inflammation in turn gunks up the electrical pathways and creates more seizures. So it was a really nasty cycle. And we think what happened was the proven effect of Juice Plus. It helps stop inflammation. So we think that's what healed it. But yeah, Joey was just getting better and better and better. And it was amazing. And so if I never got paid a dime for sharing Juice Plus, I would still be sharing it with everybody that I know, because I know if it's going to do that kind of healing in a damaged brain, it's going to do that kind of healing in the rest of our bodies too.
So then what happened?
Well, after about 3 months, I called Carolyn and I said, okay, it's done so many wonderful things for Joey. So I really want our whole family taking this. Is there a way that I can get this at a better price? Because I want to put my whole family on it. And she said, well, let's meet and I'll show you. So Carolyn showed me the marketing plan, and it was a way that, would enable me to pay for our family's product and more if I wanted to. I really was not sure at all that I wanted to do that. Mind you, I have 5 kids, 1 special needs kid. I was homeschooling them, so I was already doing a lot, and I didn't need another job, right? But I said, I'll have to ask my husband about it. So I did. I showed the stuff to him, and he looked at it and said, I think you should do it. I said, you do? Are you kidding? And he said, no. He said, if something works, you tell everybody. You may as well get paid for it. And he was right. So I signed on as a Juice Plus rep. And the more I looked into this product, it was real. And the research was real. And the more I looked into the company is a very ethical, the marketing plan is a very ethical plan. It's an excellent, excellent company with great integrity. And I'm extremely glad that I wanted to be part of it and that I have the opportunity to, because it's just been fantastic.
Thanks, Sandy. I hear that story all the time, and I still it gives me chill bumps. So I thank you for saying yes and being a part of our mission. And I too, the research is really what hit me. There will be a time that Elizabeth can go over that with you, or you can get on her website. You can read it. It's hyperlinked. It's amazing. And the company started out, Juice Plus is 25 years old, and they said, okay, let's find out if this gets in your bloodstream. 18 studies later, 100% bioavailable. So the next question is, great, what to do when it gets in there? So they just, heart health, big issue going forward in our country is diabetes in children. And so they did a study on glucose, and kids got better, and kids aren't supposed to have diabetes. Go to the water park, look at what people are eating. And sometimes kids don't have a choice. They don't get to choose fruits and vegetables. So I have a passion for women because somebody has helped me my whole life. I have a disabled child. Somebody helped me when she was born. And I just started saying, okay, how can I pay forward all the help that in my prayers that God would give me? And Juice Plus came along after we'd already done a whole bunch of things. And I too, like Sandy, I just wanted the best possible price. She wasn't the right age to be on the family health study. And I wasn't going to share it with anybody. But before we talk any more about that, there are some other products. We talked about the berry blend and the veggies and the fruit and the omega. There's also Complete, which is a protein shake. And it's probably the best tasting protein shake you'll ever eat. We were on another call a minute ago, and one of the people that's on our team, she's a nurse. So we always get Nurse Nancy's nuggets. And she was explaining to us about this scoring that the FDA does on protein absorption. And the highest score you can get is a 1. We have a 1. And so Complete is the macro. You were talking about that, Elizabeth. It's the macronutrition piece. So when people want to jumpstart their health, they do the shakes and the capsules. And now what kids get free is the berries, not the berries, but the fruits and the veggies. In Sandy's case, she purchased the berries in addition because we didn't know it, but I just knew she needed to do that, and she did, to reduce inflammation even further. And so just another short, this is like not a long story at all, but my daughter's 33. She still lives at home. I take her to her doctor's appointments. And today we went to a doctor's appointment where we were going to review her blood results. We hadn't had any, I'm like the worst mother in the world. I hadn't had any of that stuff run for years. So we were a little nervous, and we get in there and it was perfect. Her triglycerides were great. Her cholesterol was great. Everything that you look at, all of it, perfect. And the doctor said, there are people who would probably buy these results if you would sell them to them. And so, that I got to be able to create that for my daughter is huge. And I see the baby. And so if you're taking Juice Plus, your baby gets it too, free through breast milk. It's awesome. And if you have any other kids and they get on the Children's Health Study, you got 3 for 1. It's a great, great deal. And I wish I'd known about it. I was a little HE League leader when my kids were little and babies and stuff. And it was, I've just kind of switched from helping mothers breastfeed to helping young adults and families eat well when they get past that stage. So I think we've really talked a lot. Oh, we have one other product. It's called a Tower Garden. And Elizabeth can share that with you also. It's a vertical aeroponic hydroponic gardening. And it was a brainchild of a gentleman who was the chief horticulturist at Epcot. And he said, we need to have something families can use. So if you love to grow things, I grow all year long on my Tower Garden, outside in the summer and inside in the winter. It's awesome.
I wish you guys could see her Tower Gardens because they're amazing.
Yeah, I don't have any. If I thought I could have screenshot a picture. So Juice Plus bridges the gap. It bridges a nutritional gap. It can bridge a financial gap. If you want it, you can be your own customer. You cannot be your own customer. 85% of the people who eat Juice Plus are simply customers. But there's some of us who felt like if we could get a better price, it was worth it because we had large families. And so I think what I would like to just close with is for you to just think for a second, because this is not a call where we're going to ask you for an order. I was going to promise you that up front and I forgot. So I'm promising you now, we're not going to ask you for an order. But some questions for you to think about as we close the call. And maybe you want to, I don't know about you, but I do really well if I close my eyes when I think. But who do you know that would like to be healthier than they are now? Who do you know that would like their kids to be healthier? They would like their parents. You know, for me, the fact that I've been around for 13 years since a breast cancer diagnosis, and I have a 13-year-old grandson and an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old, and that I get to play with them. My mom had Alzheimer's. My kids did not have a grandmother. And so that was a gift to them and a gift to me. So, you know, I don't know. But I always think about not just us, but our parents too. And do you know anybody that maybe would like to lose a little weight? You combine we're starting a program. It's called Shred 10. We have a Facebook page for that. And it's 2 shakes and capsules for 10 days. And it's just a jump start to better health. And I love, see, now we've got Facebook, so we have all these great communities, right? Back then in the day, nobody had that. You created it other ways. So just think about those questions. And then at the same time, think about maybe there's somebody you know who needs an extra $300 to $500 a month. Maybe they want to be able to stay home with their kids. Maybe they want to be able to afford something for their kids. There's all different kinds of things that Juice Plus can fill in the gap for. And you get to decide. You get to do whatever you want, as little or as much. And the biggest thing is to get Juice Plus in your bodies if it makes sense to you. And we would, you know, be happy to answer questions. I'm going to stop the recording and then we can have questions and answers if you want them. And stop recording.
Do we have time?
What'd you say?
Do we have